Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lightning back with another War Robots video. Today we're going to go over all the robots in the workshop, which ones are actually worth building, which ones are worth your time, because I'm telling you right now, you do not want to build some crappy robots. Now remember, every 6 months to every year, this list may become outdated, so I always make new ones once or twice a year because things in this game change, the meta changes, there's rebalance, there's all kinds of stuff. So sometimes things get nerfed, sometimes things get buffed, and sometimes there's just things out on the battlefield that make certain robots not that great at a certain time. So we're going to go over the ones that are actually good at the moment, and I will make a new updated guide when things change. So the first robot we see in here is the Mender. I think the Mender is pretty good if you can get like the Hawkeye drone and the healing weapons. If you get enough healing stuff on the Mender, it's a pretty good healer. It's definitely not going to be one of my first choices. I don't exactly love the Mender, but for a few people out there, I think it's pretty good. I don't think most people are going to love it, but some will. At least once you get up in Champion League, that's where the battles are just brutal. So remember, you want to build robots that are going to work for you in Champion League, not in the lower leagues, because once you're in Champion, the game gets crazy. Now, one really weird thing is I noticed the Amugi is in the workshop sometimes, and then it disappears, and then it comes back. So every couple times I look, sometimes the Amugi is in there, and sometimes it's not. That's a little bit of a skill bot. It's super hard to do well with, in my opinion, but it's an amazing robot if you learn to play it. So if you do see the Amugi in here, it's going to be worth building if you want something that's more of a skill bot and not really easy to play. Next up, we have Raven. I think if the right person plays the Raven, it's pretty darn good, but it's definitely a skill bot, very hard to play, so I don't recommend that to your average person. Next up on the list is the Invader. I think the Invader is an awesome robot. I highly recommend building one. Right now, if you build the robot well and you play it well, the Invader is doing excellent, so I would definitely suggest an Invader. If you purchase something on the War Robots web shop, don't forget to enter code DannyLightning at checkout, all lowercase and one word. That helps support this channel, and you might find some discounts and free stuff on the web shop as well. Supporting this channel helps it keep bringing you videos just like this. I'll put a link to the web shop in the video's description and the pinned comment. Next up, we have the Scorpion. I think this is a great little assassin robot. It teleports to the enemy, it strikes, then it teleports back. It's very squishy, it dies very easy, but if somebody plays this well and builds it well, it's a great little robot. Next, we have the Orochi. I would not recommend that in the higher leagues. I don't think it does well at all. Next, we have the Nemesis, which is a really awesome robot, but unfortunately, it's so low on firepower, I don't really recommend the Nemesis. I love playing it. It's super fun. It's pretty strong, but it just doesn't deal enough damage. It's only got 2 mediums, and it's got a built-in weapon that only does so much damage, but it can use the ability a lot, but I just don't recommend the Nemesis. Next up, we have the Riker. Do not recommend that for the higher leagues. It's a cool little robot, but no. Next, we have the Typhon. This thing for a long time was amazing, but I no longer recommend the Typhon. It just dies too easy, unfortunately. Cool robot, but you know, these days it's a little bit outdated and not that good. Next up, we have the Ravena. This is definitely a skill bot. If you play the Ravena well, it is amazing. It's still one of the better bots in the game for somebody who knows how to play it, but a lot of people have a hard time getting the ability timing down. The Ravena is all about timing the abilities at just the right times, but if you can get the hang of that, the Ravena is amazing. And then we have the Tier robot, which I really enjoy playing. I love playing the Tier. It's old, it's outdated. It's not really something I recommend for Champion League, but it can be played in Champion League. That's one of those things where if you already got a nice hanger of robot and you're just looking for something fun to play, I would recommend this for like a secondary robot for some extra variety, but it's not something I would want to have in my hanger 24 hours a day, so I do and don't recommend the Tier. Next up, we have the Demeter. I highly recommend the Demeter for a lot of people. It teleports to your teammates, it heals them, and it just does an overall good job. It's fun to play. Again, you do got to play it correctly and build it correctly. It's not a robot that you can just kind of go crazy with, but if you use it mainly for a healer, you know, teleport your teammates, heal them, try and get back to cover before your ability's over, This can be a very, very useful robot. It can brawl a little bit, but I mainly use it for a healer and a support and not really a brawler. But I love the Demeter. I think overall it's pretty awesome. Next up, we have the Kefri, which is currently doing pretty decent. It also heals people and it's somewhat tanky. It's a semi-durable brawling healing robot. Kefri's pretty cool. Not one of my top recommendations, but again, let's just say you got 5 really awesome robots and you're looking for some variety to play. I think the Kefri is quite good. Next up on the list, we have the Leech, and in a way I do recommend this, but in a way I don't. It's unbelievably squishy. It dies super, super easily, so you got to be really careful with this thing. A really good Leech player can do well with this, but I do think this is a 100% skill bot at this time because it is squishy when it's not in the ability. You kind of want to make sure you're always behind cover when you're not in the ability with the Leech because it is super, super squishy. But I don't necessarily recommend this one, but I kind of do. But for most people, I'm probably going to say no, you probably won't love it. A few people will get good with it and love it, so it's a little hard to play. Next up, we have the Nether. Definitely not something I would recommend. I think the Nether is really fun to play, but I think most people are going to have a really hard time doing well with it. So I would not recommend the Nether for the higher leagues. Next up, we have the Angler. That is a really great robot. That is totally worth building. So I would say build yourself an Angler if you're in need of a good robot. So the Invader and the Angler so far are my top choices out of the robots we've got to now. Angler's awesome. Invader's awesome. You want to build both of those in my opinion. Next up, we have the Mars. Definitely not. It's just too squishy. That thing goes down like a ton of bricks. Next, we have the Seraph. No, thank you. Not great in Champion League. Then we have the Fafnir. I would recommend that to maybe a few people, but not the majority of people. Next up, we have the Skyros. Now, this thing used to be a beast. The Skyros is cool. It's still useful for getting beacons, but it's not what it used to be. So I would only sort of recommend the Skyros. Some people are going to love it. Most people are going to be like, eh. But it's still a pretty decent robot, but it's probably not one of the better robots in the workshop anymore. Next up, we have the Harpy. I think that's a great robot for Champion League for like a mid-range damage dealer. If you use the Harpy well, it can still do great. There's a lot of Ravengers that will shoot this thing out of the sky, unfortunately. There's so much firepower on the map right now. It's a little hard to play some of these flying robots like the Harpy. Most of the time, the Harpy does great. It wouldn't be my top recommendation right now because those Ravengers are just shooting things out of the air. Once the Ravager gets nerfed or those weapons that are people running on to get nerfed, the Harpy might become pretty good again. But right now, it's just kind of okay. But it is something I do recommend most of the time. Next up, we have the Siren. It's just like the Harpy. It does a little bit more damage, but it has less durability. Personally, I don't like the Siren, so I don't really recommend it. Some people really like it. Some people like it better than the Harpy, but most of us seem to like the Harpy better. I do recommend the Harpy a little bit, but I don't really recommend the Siren personally. Erebus. Awesome robot, but these days it's not doing well. I would not buy that for the higher leagues. Revenant, that's one of those robots where if you can max it out and you can get all the bells and whistles and get a really good build on it, the Revenant is a cool robot. It can do awesome on a lot of battles. I find that lately it's very hit and miss, but I still like the Revenant and I do recommend it. I would build like the Invader and the Angler first, but Revenant is pretty good. I do recommend a Revenant. Shell, don't recommend that whatsoever. Every time I drop a shell in, somebody shoots it once. It feels like the shield instantly breaks. Then the next shot kills it. It goes down so quick, it's not even funny. Jaeger, that's a sniper robot. Probably one of the worst robots in the game. Do not build a Jaeger. You will probably hate it. Next up is the Hawk. I do not recommend this for Champion League. It's just kind of so-so at this time. Next up, we have a Nightingale. It's a really cool robot, but I'm not going to recommend this for anybody up there in Champion. It's just old, it's outdated, and it's just kind of an okay robot. Next, we have Cerebus. It just dies too easy. Not a great robot. Next up, we have Behemoth. Now, that is something that's worth building. It's extremely slow, but it's got huge amounts of firepower. Like, you can throw 4 prismas on that thing and play it from long range. It's actually pretty darn good with the right build and a little bit of skill. But just remember, it's unbelievably slow, so it's really only good for a longer range robot, in my opinion. The next thing we have is the Phantom, which is so fun. It's such a fun robot, but the current situation, the Phantom is not doing good at all. The ultimate version of the Phantom is great, but the regular Phantom, it went from being amazing to not so good after they did the module rework. Used to be you could put a repair amplifier on that thing and it becomes somewhat tanky and playable, but right now it just dies way too fast. I'm not going to recommend the Phantom at this time. Next up, we do have the Fenrir. It's definitely not as good as it used to be. I do recommend it, but I would build like the Invader and the Angler before I would build the Fenrir, but I still think the Fenrir is worth using and worth playing. It used to be like an in-your-face brawler. Now I think it's more of a really good mid-range fighter. I don't think it's a great brawler or beacon runner in Champion League anymore. It dies a lot easier than it used to, but I do think it's a good robot and I would recommend building one. But I would definitely build the Invader and the Angler before I would build a Fenrir. But yes, the Fenrir is definitely cool and worth building. Next up, we have the Loki. I'm not really sure how I feel about the Loki right now. It's fun, it's pretty cool, but you know, it's not the greatest robot. It's pretty good for running around in stealth and getting beacons, but the second somebody has anti-stealth and they can see you, that thing goes down like a ton of bricks. So I sort of recommend Loki, but that would only be if you've already got a bunch of really awesome robots and you're just looking for something fun to play every once in a while. Next up, we have the El Gong. Surprisingly, the El Gong is doing pretty good. I kind of recommend building this. So I was very impressed with it. It seems pretty durable. It's got a cool ability. It's a lot of fun to play. I mean, it's definitely not one of the best robots in the workshop, but it's a pretty good robot overall. Then we have the Aljun. I don't know. Aljun was amazing. Now it's just kind of so-so. I think if you get like the Aopo drone on this, it becomes a lot better. I still don't really recommend it. Half the time the built-in weapon doesn't come on. It's got a lot of issues. It's a fun robot to play. It's definitely playable in the higher leagues, but in my opinion, for most people, it's barely playable and the built-in weapon doesn't always work. So I'm not going to recommend it. Now, the Ultimate Aljun is amazing, but I don't think I would build an Aljun unless you just want something fun to play every once in a while. Next up, we have the Fury. I would definitely not suggest building a Fury for Champion League. That robot's going to suck big time. In the higher leagues, do not waste your time with a Fury. Next up, we have the Hellburner. There may be a few people playing this that do really well with it, but most people suck with it. So I don't really recommend a Hellburner for most people. That's one of those deals where once you got a really fun hanger, a really good hanger, and you just want to play something for fun, that's when you build a Hellburner, but that should not be something that stays in your hanger 24 hours a day. After that, we have the Inquisitor. Don't really care for it. It's old, it's outdated, it's not so good. Then we have the Strider. Not loving that robot whatsoever. Hard to play, it's squishy, it's not a good Champion League robot. After that, we have the Falcon. Falcon's super fun, but it's kind of outdated. Even when I put all the traditionalist skills on it that gives it all the extra hit points and stuff, it still dies a lot faster than I would like it to. You hardly see anybody playing Falcons in Champion League anymore, and I don't necessarily recommend it. It's better than a lot of the robots in the workshop, but it's not going to be one of my top choice. That might be like a secondary choice for something to build. It's pretty good, but it's not wonderful. Next up, we have the Spectre. You don't want to be playing a Spectre in Champion League. It's terrible. Next robot is the Wayland. Some people are going to love this. Most people won't. I do recommend building a Wayland for somebody who really likes to be a healer. It's kind of tanky. It's got a lot of healing, a lot of durability, but it's slow, it's old, it's outdated. Most of you guys probably won't like playing the Wayland. For some weird reason, I really enjoy it. That's more of a build later robot. Once you got your main 5 and your hanger that are good, that might be something to consider building for some variety to play later. Next up is the Bulwark. not worth your time in my opinion. I really tried hard to do well with the Bulwark, and it's weird, it's awkward, it's just not a great robot anymore. Next is Hiachi. Don't build that. Mercury, don't build that. Pursuer used to be super good, but now, I don't know. It's not one of my favorites. If you have the pilot for the Pursuer, it does go into stealth for quite, I don't know, it's like 10 or 14 seconds. That robot stays in stealth for a long time. That would be like something fun to build, but I wouldn't want that to be in my hangar 24 hours a day. But I do recommend the Pursuer for just something fun to play occasionally. Next up on the list, we have the Blitz. I no longer recommend this little guy. Like, the Ultimate Blitz is crazy good, but the regular Blitz is just kind of so-so. I don't recommend playing that in Champion League. Then we have the Bulgasari. Do not recommend playing that in Champion League. And then we have the Ares. Nah, something fun to play every once in a while. It's a glass cannon. You want to make sure you got lots of lockdown on that thing so the ability can hit the enemies. But I find that it just dies too easily to play in Champion League, so I would not really recommend the Ares. And then we have the Hades. I would not really recommend the Hades. So bottom line is, well, there's only a few robots that are really worth building in here right now. But I think the first thing I would build would be the Invader. The second thing I would build would be the Angler. The third thing I would build would be the Ravena. The fourth thing I would build would be the Scorpion. The next thing I would build would be the Demeter. After that, I would probably build a Harpy, and then maybe a Skyros. Actually, I would probably build the Fenrir before the Skyros, so I'd build the Fenrir and then the Skyros. And then after that, I might consider building a Wayland. I don't remember if I said Harpy, but you can just kind of throw the Harpy in there somewhere. It's definitely a nice robot, but definitely Invader, number one. I would build that first. It's doing really good. If you build it well and play it well, I am loving the Invader right now. It's just really, really good at this current time. So hopefully me going over all the robots and giving you a quick opinion. Remember, Champion League versus like Silver League or Gold or Diamond or even Expert is a completely different ball game. A lot of these other robots might be really good in some of the lower leagues, but once you get up into Masters and Champion, there's going to be a lot of robots that fall short and don't do good whatsoever anymore. So I'm going by what actually works in the higher leagues. But remember, you are eventually going to get moved up into the higher leagues, which means you want to be building stuff that you can actually play, because you don't want to dump a bunch of resources into lower grade robots that you're not going to be able to play once you move up into the leagues. That's a complete waste of resources. That's why I'm giving you certain robots to build, because you want to make sure you can actually play it and that it's going to be at least good to decent once you get up into the higher leagues. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos and hanging out with me on the live streams. Extra huge shout out to all of my channel members. Thank you so much. The extra support really does help keep this channel running so we can bring you videos like this. If you check out the video's description in the pinned comment, you'll find some other ways to help support my channel. My affiliate links where you can get some microphones, lighting, cameras, stuff to make your room look cool, stuff for your kitchen, you name it. All kinds of amazing things. Your support really does help this channel. If you don't want to or can't support the channel, that's fine. Just watch more of my videos, because that helps out a lot as well. So thank you. You guys and girls are amazing. Thank you for watching my videos, and we will catch you next time. Hope you like this one. Lightning out. See ya.